What's going on, snipers? I am Alabama here. I hope all of you guys are having a wonderful day today. This is going to be a short live stream. It's not going to be as long. If you're watching this after it's already published, though, use the 1.25x in the settings if you guys want to speed this up a little bit. But let's go ahead and dive into the different prices that we're seeing with a lot of these coins like Bitcoin Cash, Cardano, and so forth. So let's just dump right into it, guys. So pretty much what we're seeing right now within Bitcoin Cash, as you guys see, prices are starting to mellow out and fall below the 50, 100, and 200-day moving average. And if you guys can look at this chart, you can see we are slowly sloping downwards. And I do want to mention something specific here that I think is extremely important when looking at a chart like this. And what that is if you guys pay attention to this level here, what you can pretty much see is with the actual price movement and price action that we're noticing within Bitcoin Cash, and this is the Satoshi value, we're seeing some clear support levels that are being found here within the let's say 0.16511 Satoshi level, but we recently had broken out of that, as you guys can see, going down negative into this zone here where we're currently hovering around 0.014235. So what I would say in terms of price movement and price action for Bitcoin Cash, I wanted to look at the USD chart here just to give you guys another example here of what we're seeing here, because it seems as if Bitcoin Cash is almost acting more towards its USD valuation than it is towards its Bitcoin valuation. What I mean by that is we're seeing more clear support levels here with the USD valuation, and something that I don't like to do is mix up my Satoshi and my USD valuations together. I like to be consistent with most of my trades and patterns and the charts that I look at to initiate and conglomerate those trades. So what I'm looking at here in terms of Bitcoin with a USD value is some support right around $2,305. We did find some resistance here right around $2,756. Now what's interesting about this resistance level that we found, it happened pretty much within a head and shoulder formation. If you guys can see here, you've got the first shoulder right over here, you've got the second shoulder right over here, and then you've got the head pointed right up here. If you guys don't know what that is, and you pull up our Discord, this is a free resource available to all of our viewers. The link is in the description. If you go to Trading 101, once again, you can see how a head and shoulders top is formed. There's an initial uptrend, the left shoulder is formed, then you have the head, the right shoulder, and then the neckline there, and then breakout and trend reversal down here. And I think that's exactly what we're seeing here with Bitcoin Cash. There was that trend reversal, it was heading upwards, now it's heading down, finding a little bit of support around $2,300, but most likely going to continue to fall in price, being the fact that if you look at the Satoshi value here, it's continuing to drop. So I don't necessarily like to mix those together, as you guys know, but in this case I am. So we're going to go ahead and also pull up the next coin that we're going to look at here. And before we do, let's go ahead and look at the chat here, see who we have online. Let's see, we got Diego Azam, Tesla Red is on. Awesome, guys. Can you explain how a coin like Nebulous is so undervalued? Yo, we're here again. Yes, we are, guys. So today's Night Owl is going to be a little bit different, guys. Instead of just doing a one-channel Night Owl, I'm actually going to open up the whole community for you guys to actually look into. So if you guys are Patreons, you guys can use the Patreon voice 1, 2, and Night Owl. Ruby Night Owl, Sapphire Night Owl, Emerald Night Owl. If you guys want to go down to these voice channels, you guys can actually go into the day trading voice channel. You guys can actually swing into the day trading 2 channel, swing trading channel. So we're going to be doing a community-wide Night Owl, almost like the Discord is like our campus, right? And it's it's a campus that you can actually walk around and go into different classrooms, different places, socialize in different areas, and that's how we're going to be utilizing the Discord today. But I am going to be doing this stream extremely short. We do have a lot of work that we're doing right now on the back end of the scene. I have a lot of messages that I need to reply to of important requests and stuff that I'm getting. So we're just going to kind of dive into these coin requests. These are pretty much the coin requests that I've been getting over the past couple of days and have not been able to really look into or make a video upon. So we'll go ahead and look at Cardano ADA as well. Let's pull up ADA BTC, do the technical analysis there. So what I'm seeing here, we're slowly edging our way back into this channel that we were previously before, finding support right around 5,000 Satoshis and resistance around 5,700 Satoshis. And I think over the long term, what we're going to see with ADA Cardano is this starting to correct back to these levels, finding support back around the 5,000 Satoshi level, and then quite possibly if we do break past this, which I highly doubt we will, we may have to go and find support right around 2,724. So at this moment, the reason we're seeing a lot of this price action, guys, is because you look at the BTC valuation here. We broke resistance levels and now we're to the moon, guys. I mean, if you guys see here, BTC USD valuations are extremely on the move right now compared to other coins, and I think a big reason for that is we were able to maintain and find support right around the 50-day moving average. I'll teach you guys something right here, by the way. So the 50-day moving average, as you guys can see, is represented here in red. If you guys click insert indicator and you guys type in, one of my favorite moving averages is the 3 moving averages indicator. So you type in 3 moving averages. This is the one I use by Advent Trading. And then once you have that up, you can actually click upon that and then edit the inputs here to the amount of days you guys want to look at. So I have the length here at 50-day, 100-day, 200-day, and that's really what's represented exactly right over here. So let's go ahead and finish our analysis here of ADA Cardano and talk a little bit about what we're seeing, guys. And once again, pretty much the support level is about to recreate itself once it heads back into this channel, which it kind of went into but then rose right back on top of. So this resistance may end up forming support as well. That could be a possibility. If that does happen, I think that's a good thing for Cardano. I think this is a healthy correction, being that we were so far away from that 50-day moving average. If you guys want to see how far you are, you can actually use this tool right here. It's called the measure, or you can actually click shift and then measure out any sort of measurement that you guys want to look at. So if you guys want to see how far we were from the 50, you can look right here. We were about 28%, 26% away from that 50-day moving average, which was obviously different than what we had seen in the past while we were actually on the 50-day moving average while it was finding that support level. So hopefully that helps you. How do you move the graph down? Gene Morris said, how do you move the graph down? I don't know what you're talking about. If you're talking about this scrolling thing right here, I pretty much scroll back and forth for that aspect of it. So yeah, what I would say in terms of prices, I think we're going to find some support right around this level, and then if we find support here, then we can actually let the chart mature and see if there's going to be a potential breakout for Cardano. Let's go ahead and pull up Litecoin BTC. I know we saw this huge jump here in price action, which I think was a really good thing. Now, what's interesting here, guys, you could have pretty much predicted this. Check this out. This is huge, guys. This right here is one of the reasons some traders make money and some traders lose money, and it's called being aware. So look right here. There was a support level formed back in December 14th that also acted as support around January 5th. So what does that mean in a technical sense? It's the fact that support levels are important, guys. Understanding the technical side of these charts can really enable you to make these extreme gains. So you look here, we found support right around this level, and then we bounced right on top of that level once we reached it and had seen this huge breakout, which is a very positive sign for Litecoin, as in my opinion we saw this huge run up around December 11th, and in order to justify this we had to see the correction, and then once that correction was made, as the price started to decline and consolidate, we went under the 50-day moving average, now coming right back on top of it, ensuring that the prices are going to stabilize at least around these levels, being the fact that we were around the 61 or 861,000 Satoshi level for quite some time prior to that. So that's pretty much what I would say for Litecoin BTC. It's to watch this chart mature. You know, with these parabolic run-ups, it's hard to really determine whether or not it's going to form a channel at this point or go continue to, you know, have these parabolic gains. But what you can tell is we hit double bottom here. You can see RSI went under 30 twice in a row, in which it completely bounced back on top of that. And typically what you'll find, guys, when you look at this volume, you can see the buy volume is shot up like a lot right around this level. that's typically when institutional traders will put in money into something. You'll see volume have these random spikes. So that's pretty much that. Richard Howard said, how do you speed up the live stream to 1.25? You can't do it while it's live, Richard, unfortunately. But yes. So if you guys want to do any requests, I will be taking the super chat requests, but we are going to be ending this live stream fairly shortly, and we're going to be going straight to our night owl, which is going to be community wide in all of our channels. It's going to be open to everyone. I just want you guys to go out here and enjoy yourselves. I may hop into some of these channels like value trading, mining, music, and any of these channels, swing trading, day trading. I want you guys to go out there, talk to some of your peers, talk to some of your fellow community members, and engage. We have set up more channels for you guys to be able to do that. So hopefully that can assist. So along with Litecoin, let's go straight to NEM, XEM, BTC, and take a look at what is going on here. We're following this upward trend that we've seen going and starting in December 8th of 2018. Now we're seeing this parabolic run-up that pretty much differed away from this trend, and now we're heading back towards this trend, which at the time was right around the 50-day moving average, but now we saw this jump away from the 50-day while the 50-day kind of pulled it right back under it. I think we'll start seeing some upward price movement, being that we're under the 50-day right now. Typically what happens is the 50-day will pull the prices back to these stabilized levels. And of course there is a downtrend right now, but that doesn't mean it's going to continue. Once again, guys, as a trader, you want to be sure that you're following the basic principles. Buying the red, selling the green. Buy your coins at a discounted rate. Don't buy them at market price when you can buy them at a discount, just like the institutional investors do it. Just smart money. So somebody said, time to jump ship from TRX and XRP. Thank you so much for the super chat, Sholob. Time to jump shift from TRX to XRP. Well, why don't we look at this chart here? So we'll pull up TRX BTC and see what's going on here with TRX. So in my opinion, if you jump out of TRX at this time, what's going to happen is you're going to be out of a profit that could potentially come in, you know, a couple of days, depending on where this price starts to head, because we are at low price points right now compared to where we were a couple days ago. But if you pull up XRP's chart, it's quite the same scenario here. You know, what's really cool about this chart is, for the first time ever, what we have seen is, instead of actually correcting back to support channel, we're actually correcting back to previous support channels, which Ripple has really never done before. I mean, typically when you see Ripple have a run up, it forms stability around the peak of that run up, and for the first time we saw this run up go up. It actually happened a little bit here where we went down a little bit, but we didn't go back down to these 6,000 Satoshi levels. We stayed around 13,000 Satoshis. But when we went up to 21,000 Satoshis, we didn't find support around 20,000 Satoshis. We found support around 14,000 Satoshis. So what does that mean for Ripple? In my opinion, I've seen this happen a lot before, and it typically means that you've hit the top of the top for that specific price action. So could it be the top for Ripple? I think Ripple will maintain its prices around this range as more popularity and as more attention comes towards Ripple and we head towards a $1 trillion market. I think that's when we're really going to start seeing Ripple starting to shoot away from that price. But I don't think Ripple will start heading back down to these price levels. I think it'll find it'll maintain its price levels around here. You can see as soon as it hit this support at 14,124, we jumped right back up. So there's some clear support levels here. So I think that's a good thing to look for in Ripple. So in terms of jumping boat from Tron to Ripple, I don't know. I mean, that's up to you, man. You know, something I like to always do is rebalance my portfolio. So if something becomes a significant part of my portfolio and I'd rather have it become a different part of my portfolio, I'll rebalance my portfolio. So you can always take a portion of your holdings and transfer it to another asset class and then allow that to grow in itself and still have, you know, a stake in both. So hopefully that can assist a little bit with that, Shlob. Thank you so much, Claudie. What's up, man? Good to have you. Thank you for the super chat, brother. Could you take a look at Digital Note XDN? It's a privacy coin. I got in at 0.01, so 1 cent. That's awesome, man. Let's go ahead and pull it up right now. XDN BTC. Awesome. I think you planned ahead of time, Claudia. You just seem like a, you know, a pretty organized guy. You were like, let me make sure this is on TradingView before I request it. But thank you, man, for the super chat, and thank you for being a loyal supporter since the beginning of our channel. What we're seeing here, obviously, there's some support levels right around, looks to be about 135 Satoshis, which is obviously a good sign, Claude. And is it Claude? I think it's Claude, right? Because the E is after the D, and that typically is pronounced, it's silent. So I'm just going to say Claude, or I can say Mr. Dahman. Then I'll sound like you're, I don't know, your accountant or something. So let's just look at this here. Let's see what this. It's Claude. He said yes. Okay, awesome. So I said it right. Thank you, brother. So it looks like there was some resistance here around 214 Satoshis. He said, but Claudie is okay too. Okay, thank you, Claude. So yeah, I love you guys that have been with us for a while, man. I mean, if you guys have been with us for over 2 to 3 weeks, I mean, that's awesome. You know, I give you guys some props for sticking through and staying true to our content. You know, today we had our first class today from Bob, and I think it went well. You know, obviously it's his first time on there, and I think he did a great job with presenting, you know, a lot of things he said were really good. I liked the way he talked about, you know, your risk is really based upon what you're willing to lose, but if you're not willing to lose much, but you're willing to gain as much, and you have one breakout in your portfolio, it can make up for 50 losses if you only lost 1%. So, you know, that's a strategy of his own. I personally have my own, you know, trading style, and we all do. I think he mentioned that too in his training. You know, we all have to have our own trading style. You know, be confident in what you're doing, guys. So if you guys enjoyed that, we'll definitely have more content creators on here. We're going to be testing different content creators on here until we can find one that really connects with our audience, and then they can have a little bit more of a consistent role here. But if, you know, if somebody doesn't connect with the audience, then that's just the nature of it. So anyways, what we're seeing here, pretty much resistance was found right upon 529 Satoshis, it looks like, Claude. And what I'm seeing right now, obviously there's some consolidation, but it looks like we made it right back up. This is a really good sign, by the way. It's what we saw with Tron before it broke out for that second time. If this can create a channel up here, Claude, I would still hold on to a coin like this. And the reason I say that is because if it found support right around 429 Satoshis, which it did, found resistance around 512 Satoshis, this could very possibly break out to higher levels. Not only that, what I'll tell you right now is the fact that we saw volume like this skyrocket, this right here is most likely institutional volume. Now, I'm going to teach you guys something here that, in my opinion, is extremely important with understanding volume. But when you see a volume spike this high, where it wasn't spiking that high before, and it happened while prices were pretty low, smart money will typically come in when prices are low because they're smart with how they trade, and they'll put in large purchases, and that's exactly what we saw here. That brought the price up, but here's the reason it didn't crash back down. It's because, as you can see with the sell volume, it was a lot less than the buy volume. So the sell volume was actually the retail investors trying to take profits away from the institutional investors' money that was put into the stock, not the stock, but the coin. In this case, it's XDN. So the institutional investors put money into XDN. It shot the price up. The retail investors sold, not as much volume, so it went down, found support. But guess what? The institutional money is still there. The institutional money did not sell. So is that a good sign? 100%. That's a great sign, because the more institutional money, it's almost like it acts as an anchor for that coin. So as price levels continue to grow, the more institutional money that comes and stays, that's the key word, stays, and we know it's still there because the sell volume did not exceed the buy volume, then it maintains their price points and it creates new support levels, because the more cash, the more liquidatable cash in an asset increases its value naturally. So does that help out a little bit? Abu Baret said, Naeem, your COD videos are epic. Going back into my old videos when I was on Machinima. Come on. That's fine, though. Thank you, Abu. I appreciate that. Good to have you, Joe Smo. Good to have you, Darknet. Tesla's in the house. Edwin Jimenez. Good to have you, brother. Body Rot. Alberto Acosta. Kendall C is in the house. Thank you for the super chat, Geoffrey. Crypto Deacon in the house. He said, Rupee. Azman Khan said, amazing channel. Thank you. Mirdol Gupta said, nice analysis. Claudia said, thank you so much. You're very welcome, brother. Hopefully that helped out. And thank you once again, man. You mean more to me than I mean to you guys. Seriously, you guys mean the world to me, and I thank God every single day. I love this. Alexander Yeslimin, good to have you. Adhan Karim, good to have you. Omar Moss is in the house. Who else is in the house? Edward is in the house. Bilal. Tokes TV is in the house. Kyle in the house. Sigma in the house. Marianne. Hi from Croatia. I've always wanted to go to Croatia. Marianne, would you give me a tour of Croatia if I went out there tomorrow? I don't even know if I can get a flight out there tomorrow. Dora Bell said, love you too. Thank you. Love you guys. Great job, my friend. Thank you, Claudio. Luke1403 said, in the house. That's good. Mason's in the house. Slovenia. I probably said that completely wrong. He's trying to get hooked up. Hooked up with what? What's going on, Brendan? Good to have you. From Thailand. I just came, I was in Thailand actually for a blockchain conference and went to Phi Phi Island, landed in Krabi. Actually landed in Bangkok, then I went to Krabi, went to Phi Phi. I didn't go from, you know, Phuket. I went from the other end. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate it, man. He said, great channel. Love from love. That's funny. Gave his mother a grilling, though. My son... Jeffrey said, did you guys see when he... I don't even know what happened, but apparently he did something. So Armin said, love your channel, brother. Can you share your portfolio? Yeah, I'll share my portfolio. I don't mind. I am going to be changing up some things fairly soon, being that Bitcoin is starting to rally. But, you know, my portfolio is open for all the Patreons. So if you guys are on Patreon... Somebody's asked me this before. They said, how do I access all this stuff? So if you're on Patreon, you just go to posts right here. Click post. And then you can actually go down. You can see I actually posted this night owl from yesterday, asset allocation and risk management. This is only going to be open for our sapphires since it takes up a lot of our capital to get these things you know, done and set up for you guys. And that was a trade alert we had today. But if you guys scroll down here, I actually posted a portfolio. I still have the same portfolio. It's been doing very well for me. The way I allocated my assets were proper at the time, but I think I may be repositioning things. I'm going to be releasing a new portfolio soon for all the Patreons. That will be part of the trade alerts. So as a gold Patreon, you will have all that gold, any gold and above. Obviously for the rubies, you guys have the ability to get into our night owls and our secret chats, which tonight our night owls is going to be an open night owl for the whole community throughout the whole Discord. So it's not going to be a specific Discord. I'm going to be hopping around back and forth just listening in, but this is all for you guys. So instead of focusing it on asking me questions, I want you guys to go in these chats and just listen in on other traders, other analysts that are actually having some really good results. We have different day trading channels, swing trading channels, stuff like that, value investing channels. So if you guys want to talk about value investing, you can go in there. We even have a channel now for females only, so I got a request for that, so I was like, why not add it? We'll see how that works. You know, not to, you know, separate things, but sometimes the females might want to talk to some of the other females about crypto. You know, I actually got, I hope I'm not gonna say who it was, but I got a message today from one of the ladies on our team, and she said, you know, she basically said, thank you so much, Naeem, for, you know, I'll actually read the message. I just won't show you guys, you know, just in case she's may not feel comfortable. I don't think anybody would feel comfortable with that, but I think it was awesome, and I don't think there's anything wrong with reading out what it said, because I think it was such a really, it was a really good, it was some really good stuff. But it pretty much said this. I actually got a message from somebody too that it was awesome. They told me to stop drinking from a can, so I'm gonna stop drinking my LaCroix. Apparently, I might have to get some bottles. Apparently, it's unhealthy to drink from a can. So this changed everything. I love this. This is the reason that I do what I do. So it says, Naeem, I thank God I found you. I spent my morning listening to something. Talk smart. I think it was somebody in one of the voice channels. I work my fingers to the bone and never thought I'd have anything. It's hard for me to make friends with smart guys in the real world because they want to date me. This place is like heaven, and all these smart men share their brains. No one needs anything from you. This is like the best entertainment ever in the whole world. I don't have time to see what's going on in the, in the normal world, and I don't care anymore. Thank you, Naeem. I am no longer feeling dumb because I am with an open mind, and I can only go up from here. So I said, thank you so much. That's basically what I said. I was like, that is awesome. So she's basically saying that, she just feels like she doesn't get the, the info that she wants because it's just unattainable to her. And, that I think that was huge. What do you guys think? Wasn't that awesome? Somebody said, I agree with her 100%. Somebody said, nice message. Cool girl. Beaver Brain, don't say that. What's your take on Patcoin? Somebody said, psyched to hear about the other woman here. Get a fluoride filter too. I think men suck. That is hilarious. Isn't that awesome though? So anyways, let's go ahead and finish these requests up, guys. Cannot agree more. That is awesome. Hopefully that helped some of you guys. But yes, so that's XDN. Rod Victoria just donated 5 from the super chat and said, when collecting profits, do you just sell and have the profit? By the way, to go against that one message, I still have some extra LaCroix, so I still need to finish it. I don't mind drinking out of the can for this one time. Well, for the rest of my LaCroix left. When collecting profits, do you just sell and have the profits sit in the paired currency until you're ready to reinvest those profits or pull out cash? When I take profits, I don't always liquidate to fiat currency. So sometimes when I take profit, for example, let's say I'm taking profit from Ripple and transferring that to Bitcoin because I know that Bitcoin is going to have a bull run in the next couple of days. I will liquidate some of my Ripple into Bitcoin and leave it in Bitcoin and just collect profits in that manner and collect more profits. I don't have anything wrong with holding my capital in crypto. However, I also have liquidatable assets or liquidated assets that are always on the side and waiting just in case I need it. So, I manage my portfolio quite well and quite diligently. I'm not necessarily all in crypto. I have a lot of liquidated cash available because I think all of you should. Cash is power, right? So cash is the name of the game. If you don't have cash, then you don't have power. You need the cash. So it's important to keep your cash. Good question. This is some of the best online content around and giving me so much knowledge. Can you look at ARN? Absolutely, Jonathan. Thank you so much, brother. We hope to bring you the best content, and we strive to do our best here. So, interesting chart here. We're seeing some positive channels form right here. Seems like we've got a little bit of a run up, a little exciting here. You guys know what a bull flag is? Anybody here know what a bull flag is? Let me show you a bull flag. So here's a bull flag, and I'm gonna kind of go into a little bit of depth here. Not necessarily too much, but let's pull up a bull flag so you guys have an idea of how a bull flag looks. But pretty much a bull flag is this right here. You see the flag form after a run up, and it typically indicates that there's a bullish pattern about to form. So bullish flag formations are found in stocks with strong uptrends. They are called bull flags because the pattern resembles a flag on a pole. The pole is the result of a vertical rise in a stock, and the flag results from a period of consolidation. So this run right here just formed 2 bull flags. Boom, 1 bull flag right over here, another bull flag right over here, and then it found a little bit of support right around 36,000 Satoshis. So now that you guys understand a bull flag, you guys can be more self-aware of that. So does everybody understand what a bull flag is? Very simple. It's actually probably one of the basic aspects of technical trading. Somebody said that looks like BCN, California Bay Area. That's funny. Azan Khan is in the house. Abdul, Bobby is in the house. Good to have you, Bobby. Emma Rose. What's happening with XRP? We're seeing a consolidation, Emma. We saw this huge uptrend. That's exactly what we're seeing right now. Is that the same as a flag continuation? Good question, Ashley Muller. Good question. What are the perks of Sapphire? That's a good question too. So if you are a Sapphire patron, you get all of the recordings of our... So I'll show you really quick here. So if you are a Sapphire patron, you get all of our Ruby Night Owl recordings, all of our live calls, all of our private live calls that we do with our Ruby members, our Sapphire members. Sometimes we'll do a private Emerald call. So if you are a Sapphire, you get all of our live calls. So this is an on-the-go podcast that you can actually pull up on your phone, and then also get that, and then you get our trade alerts. So anything that's gold and above gets the trade alerts. That's where you guys get these. We actually predicted a couple things. I was wrong on one thing. I was right on a couple. Komodo, I wasn't right on. Tron yesterday, we predicted this run-up. That was a quick swing trade. So that's all available. Most of you guys know about this. You know, the link is everywhere. I'll actually post it here in the chat if you don't have it. But yeah, anyways, so she asked a good question. So she said pretty much, let's see here. The question from Ashley, I believe it was Ashley, right? Or was it somebody else? Muller, Miss Muller. She basically said, what did she say? What was the question? Does anybody remember her question? It was a good question. I am totally, I can't even, Emma Rose. No, she said thanks for your time from Sweden. Is that the same as a flat continuation? Okay. Do you mean a flag continuation? I think you meant flag continuation because the T is right on top of the G on the keyboard. You may have mistyped that. But a flag continuation is a little bit different. So if you guys pull up the Discord, you guys can actually see here. If you guys go to Trading 101, right over here, you can actually pull up the flag continuation. And the flag continuation is different in the fact that what you're looking for is not necessarily here, I'll actually read the definition. I think this will help. The flag stock chart pattern forms through a rectangle. The rectangular develops from two trend lines which form the support and resistance until the price breaks out. The flag will have sloping trend lines, and the slope should move in the opposite direction to the original price movement. Once the price breaks through either the support or resistance lines, this creates the buy or sell signal. So the difference between a flag continuation and a bull flag is the flag continuation is overstretched. So you can see here, there's more than one support and resistance level levels that are, you know, found here. And you know, in a way though, to be quite frank, you can also kind of negate that and say, well, if you pull up the, you know, let's say we pull up the 15-minute chart, it'll look overstretched. So yeah, now this looks overstretched. Now this looks like a flag continuation that turned into the run up. But a bull flag, it's almost like saying, you know, it's almost like saying, do you want to play basketball versus do you want to play ball? You know, it's just a different way of saying it. But there's also a different meaning to it, and it can be perceived in a different way. So for me, when I say a bull flag, it's just a quick bull flag that, like, this is a quick bull flag. I'm not going to sit here and draw this pattern out as a flag continuation. I'm just going to say this is a bull flag. So I hope that makes some sense. It's almost like the trader's lingo, you know? It's a technical trader's lingo. And hopefully that helps out a little bit. But it's all about phrasing. But they pretty much indicate the same thing, if that's your question, yes. So somebody said ARN. Yes, we have to look at ARN. So yeah, so it's forming support here. What I would say, let this chart mature a little bit. At this point, we are away from the 50-day moving average. That's never, you know, a good sign in terms of a bullish sign, but it's obviously showing some signs of, you know, high volume. It's not only showing high volume, it's also showing signs of support. what I think is interesting here, kind of like the chart from Claude, is the fact that the volume skyrocketed out of nowhere. So this could certainly be institutional traders, but the sell volume is pretty high too, which is a little bit of the you know, the worry for me. It's because the sell volume is high too, and if the buy volume is high but the sell volume is high, then what's the point, you know? So hopefully that helps out a little bit. But I would say let this mature a little bit. You know, it looks like there was resistance around 55,000 satoshis. So if this forms a channel here, that's going to be a good thing, because that means you have clear support and resistance, and then it may break out past this resistance, and then that's where you'll see those huge run-ups. So hopefully that pops out. Elevator pitch, somebody said. Oh my gosh, you guys, I wasn't planning on getting all these super chats today, but I'll do all the super chats, and then I want to finish the coins that we have on the title. And this is supposed to be a short stream, but elevator pitch between PO, FUN, NEM, and SNT. Why don't we do NEM? So I don't mind doing NEM out of those. I think, did we already look at NEM? I don't think so. But if we did, then I'll just quickly recap. So we're on this positive trend. We're correcting back to the, oh, I think we did, yeah. So we're correcting back to this positive trend pretty much, and you see the 50-day, the 100-day, and the 200 days pulling this price point back down to this trend line. So I think we'll start heading back to this trend. Can you go over TRX a bit more? Yeah, sure. If you want me to go into TRX a little bit, here's the truth of the matter, guys. We formed a head and shoulder, and that typically means the trend is going to reverse. You know, there was a left shoulder here, right shoulder here. The head was formed right on top here, and we're seeing now the reversal from that head and shoulder. I don't think there's any clear support levels just yet for Tron. I mean, we did go back here to around 910 satoshis, bounce right back up, but I don't see that as a clear support level, being the fact that we never went under 30 RSI. I think the way we'll find out where Tron's bottom is when is it going to hit the bottom of its RSI. So if you look at the volume levels here, you can see there was some small swings in volume here, and I'll show you guys what it looks like when institutional traders sell, you know, their holdings, and you can see these huge spikes in volume. This is where institutional traders typically come in. So right here there was a huge spike in volume. This right here was an indicator that yes, we were probably going to see some ridiculous run up eventually, which we did, because volume started to increase as a mass. We saw the run up right around January 3rd, and then you see these huge sell walls form up here. Right here you see this huge sell volume, sell volume, sell volume. You see sell volume here. So it could very well be institutional traders letting go of their assets. Obviously whoever sold here got faked out. They thought it was a tip, but it wasn't, and it shot up, so that guy wasn't too happy. But whoever sold here was, you know, fairly lucky. But you can see this is really where the sell-off occurred. So, you know, has it hit the rock bottom? I'm not saying it's hit the top of the top just yet. Maybe over time it'll start increasing in price, but I think this was more of just a quick swing trade that could have been made. You know, when I posted the alert for this, it was when it was around these price levels. It was just a quick swing trade. You know, it wasn't necessarily a trade that you wanted to just continue to hold. So you know, I don't mind buying Tron. I'm just not going to buy them at this price level. I missed out, and I'm fine with that. I just did not expect the run up that we saw, and that's completely fine. So hopefully that helps. Somebody said, what about NXT and CBC? Everybody always has all of these coins out. We have these requests we have to do. Jeffrey said, set up some trading dummies that only follow the buy and sell advice. Set up some trading dummies that only follow the buy and sell advice. Then we can monitor the success or failure. What do you mean? That only follow the buy and sell advice. I guess you're talking about, I don't know. I think you're talking about like virtual trading, right? Like where you trade on a bot or something, and it's like fake money or something, and then you test out. That's, I mean, that's good if you're a beginner. I think that's a good beginner tactic. Somebody said, what about Cardano? Worth going into now? We just did Cardano, Joker. Sorry. If you don't mind rewinding, that would be good. Just because this is going to be a shorter live stream, we're going to be heading, everybody's going to be heading towards our Discord and having kind of this community Night Owl. So we're gonna open up all these channels for you guys. So if you guys are Patreons, you guys can actually go into your own Patreon channels, and then for those of you that aren't, you guys can actually go to our day trading, swing trading, value investing channel, and just kind of mingle amongst yourselves and have fun. Female only channel if you guys want to, you know, no guys allowed there. You know, that's more of just a rule that we have, not necessarily a restriction, but you know, hopefully it will be respected, and if it's not, we'll have to take our action. Anyways, somebody said, I purchased 2 ARNs on Binance to test out stop limits. After fees, I have 1.998 ARNs. Binance doesn't allow me to sell my 0.9998 ARNs. Is this typical? Yes, Armin. Unfortunately, when you have the fractionalized amounts that aren't traded, they stick into your wallet. Let's take a poll here. Does it frustrate? Why don't we do this? If you guys get frustrated when you sell something or buy a coin and then you're left with like these really small decimal places in your account, then like this video. Let's see how many likes we can get. Who gets frustrated on that? I know I do. That's one thing that pisses me off. That's the truth. So we're at 112 likes. Let's see how much that jumps up. Let's see if this really pisses people off or not. 149 likes. I think that's the fastest I've ever seen it go up. 171 likes. Naveed said yes, yes, yes. 183 now. Wow, this thing just jumped. 207 likes. That was like 100 likes at the snap of a finger. Everybody's like, yeah, that sucks. That business. 231 now. Mr. Momo said OMG. That is hilarious. Somebody said, the Juggernaut said, thumbs up. Brandon said, so annoying. Drives me nuts. How much money do these exchanges have just sitting around that they're never going to use, that they're going to keep in their exchanges for however long they want to keep them? Who here had Bitcoin before it got popular, right? Let's say before 2016. Who here had Bitcoin, or 2017? Because that's really where it went up. Who had Bitcoin in like different accounts and completely lost them because they just don't remember where it was or what they did, or, you know, maybe it was on the Silk Road and they shut that website down so you can't even get on there anymore? Who here had Bitcoin lost? Let's see. Anybody here that lost Bitcoin? Night Strike said I did. Night Gen said I did. Mount Gox? Ah. Anybody here lost money on Mount Gox, Silk Road, or Alphabet? Those were the 3 biggest that pretty much lost people's money. Eric said me. Christian said me. That's crazy. Somebody said I remember the Silk Road. That's good. Jun Bin said yes. Any crazy stories? I have like 50 bucks on every coin. Larry said it's so annoying. That is hilarious, man. Oh gosh, look at that. Somebody said I started becoming aware of Bitcoin when it was around 300. Wow. I bought coffee with 1.5 Bitcoin. Luke. So Luke said Luke said I bought coffee with 1.5 Bitcoin. Let's go ahead and pull up how much did Luke pay for that coffee. Let's see the logic behind this, Luke. So you paid 1.5 Bitcoin. Let's just say normal valuation right now, average valuation. Let's say 15,000, right? So you paid $22,500 for a cup of coffee. Is there any coffee in the world worth $22,500? I don't think so. I'm just saying, Luke, I don't think that was the best idea. Not that it was a bad idea or you made a bad judgment. I don't think it's the best idea. Was the coffee good, Luke? That's the real question. Was the coffee good or not? So let's go ahead and finish these requests, guys. Somebody said 20,000 per pound of fancy coffee. Somebody said he could buy a field of coffee with that. And then not only could he buy the field, he can go ahead and hire people to actually run the field and then create an ongoing asset outside of his 9 to 5 or whatever, you know, you're working, Luke. Oh man, that is hilarious. That is funny. How do I request a coin? you guys can use a super chat. That's probably the best way, because if I don't use, we already have a ton of super chat requests, so I can't take the chat requests or I'll miss the super chat requests. So it's important for me to focus there. That's the truth. So let's go ahead and look at XLM BTC. Thank you so much for the super chat, JC. So right now with XLM, we broke out of this channel where we found support right around 2,349 Satoshi. We found some resistance around 2,800 Satoshi, and then we ran up, found the resistance at 6,060 Satoshis, now heading back down at 3,600 Satoshi. So what I tell you right now is, with this coin, I think we've found the ground, and even if we haven't and you buy at this level, you're still pretty safe because you can always set up your stop losses correctly. But I think we'll start heading above this 50-day moving average, being the fact that unlike Tron, we actually did hit the bottom of the RSI, at least for the most part. We didn't go completely under yet, but we hit pretty low spot there in the RSI. So I think we still have a little bit of room to go. But I think in order for this RSI to hit rock bottom, it's going to see it right at the support level. I don't think it'll drop back down to this previous channel, but it may start finding and creating a new channel right around these levels, just as long as this continues to form itself and mature itself. So that's kind of what I would say in looking at this type of chart. I'm going to go ahead and hide my drawing tools here, and then also pull up the 1 day just to kind of get a better look at this. So this could certainly find its support, like I said, yeah, right here around 3,900. It looks to be as if we're overstretched away from this 50-day, looking at the 1 day chart, which is totally fine. I mean, we're above the EMA as well. So looking at the 1 day though, RSI is fairly high. So this actually may change a little bit of my evaluation. But what I do want to mention, guys, if you look at the volume, check this out. This is another sign of institutional money coming into the market. And the reason I say that is, look how high this volume spike is right here. Look how high the volume spiked right here. Do you guys think one person or two people, or I'm sorry, do you guys think that retail investors, just single people, can create a spike this large? No. Unless it was an extremely coordinated move, right? So this right here is a sign of institutional investors putting in money in the market. Now guess what though? There's never a sign of any sort of sell volume heading towards those highs. So what does that tell me? It tells me that right now in XLM there is institutional money here that hasn't been sold and won't be sold until it's sold. So it's simple, guys. So I think we'll find some support around these high levels because institutional money is still in the market, and it doesn't look like they've sold yet. So you know, it really tells you a lot when the price can shoot up this high and institutional investors don't sell. That tells you a lot about their strategy and what they're planning to do. So, anyways, let's go ahead and somebody said hopefully that helps out. I think we definitely need this to mature a little bit more on the 1 day, but on the hour chart I can see a little bit of resistance and a little bit of support right here around the 3,700, between 37 and 4,400. So I'd let this form out and mature a little bit longer. So what are your thoughts on Packcoin in short term? Great channel, keep up the great work. Thank you, John Diaz, I appreciate the kind words, brother. Packcoin, let's pull up Packcoin. Pac-Man coin. Here's my thoughts on it. We're at 391% gain. This is a parabolic run up. Why does this happen, right? That's the question that everybody asks. Well, multiple reasons. Obviously, you can't even pull up this chart, so I can't even do a technical analysis on this one. So if you were to just ask me what I think about the coin, that would be a little bit of a different situation, because I would have to do a little bit more of my due diligence, which typically takes about 4 to 5 hours in any sort of new ICO coin. But it looks, I mean, on this chart, I mean, to be quite frank with you, seeing that the volume was around 2 million and then jumped up to 52 million in the 24-hour volume, that tells me that this obviously got a lot of attention really quick. Looks like, yeah, it was only a day or two that it took for this volume to see its high levels. So there's really not, there's just not much technical analysis I can do on this coin. I do apologize. But yeah, so there's no more super chat requests. If there is going to be more, I will take the super chat request. But I'm going to finish up doing, we're going to do, let's see. We did Litecoin, we did Bitcoin Cash, we did Cardano. Did we do Litecoin? I don't think we did Litecoin. Let's pull up Litecoin really quick. Yeah, we did Litecoin. We talked about the run up and stuff. So yeah, that's it, guys. So I didn't want this stream to be too long. I do have a lot of stuff I have to get done, but we are going to all head out to our Discord. If you guys are not on our Discord, the link is down below, and we're actually going to have an open night today. So it's going to be an open community night. What that means is everybody here can just go out and just enjoy yourselves within all of these different channels. You have swing trading, day trading. If you guys don't have your mic to pull in, you can actually just utilize your hearing ability and just listen in. So we've got day trading here. We've got some Patreon, Voice, Ruby Plus, Sapphire Plus, Emerald, Diamond, Night Owls. So you guys can actually just kind of chat amongst yourselves within different places. If you guys go to coins here, we actually have a female only area here too. So you guys can actually go here if you're a female and have your own conversations if that suits you well. But anyways, yeah guys, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Maybe I'll take a couple questions from the audience. Let's go ahead and look what you guys want to say. What do you feel is the best site for charts? I like TradingView, Will. The link is in the description for TradingView, but there's also a website called Coinigy where you can actually connect your account to Coinigy, but it's really up to you. I don't necessarily need to connect my account just the way I trade. I just don't need to. Okay, we did get some super chats, so we might have to do some more. Awesome, that's fine. We can do a couple more. Secrets of the Crypto said, can you take a look at Lend? Lend BTC. So Lend has been a coin that I've been asked about for a while now, and I like the chart because immediately I can tell here, we've drawn this out before, there is some support right around 1,150 Satoshis. Looks like we're finding new resistance levels right around 1,792 Satoshis. And what I would tell you looking at this chart is obviously there's this negative trend forming, and you can see here. However, if you really look at it, it could be a positive thing if it acts as a flag continuation. And what I mean by that is you see this run up, downtrend, all within the channel. That's completely fine. Understand this, guys. If something happens along a channel, I'm completely fine with that. And you guys should be fine with that too. And what I mean by that is if you guys see a downtrend or an uptrend within a channel, that right there is still a support channel, because there's a support level, but there's also a support channel. And if there's a support channel, you should be fine and confident, because that means that prices may or may not end up falling down. And what I mean by that is, as long as you know there's a ground level that the price typically doesn't fall below, as long as circumstances allow it, then you should feel confident in your trading ability in that manner. So hopefully that sheds some light on that. So I would say just let this kind of jump itself around the channel. I mean, this looks like a really good coin to swing trade. I mean, if you know, or I'm sorry, day trade. If I were day trading, I would take advantage of these swings. I mean, down, up, down, up, down, up. Take advantage of this. This is why we're in this market, guys. You don't see this in the stock market. So all you day traders, you can make tons of money like that. So hopefully that helped out. Crypto Deacon said, can you take a look at Rupee? R-U-P. Unfortunately, it looks like if you want to look at the Indian Rupee against the Pakistani Rupee, we can look at that. But other than that, we don't have any other charts to look at. Look at these Forex charts, guys. Who here likes Forex? Nobody likes Forex. I don't like these charts. No volatility. Minor volatility, at least. Anyways, let's get out of there. Let's go back to crypto. We don't need Forex. Can we do a TA on UKG, please? And thank you, good sir. Or perhaps I missed it. Yeah, we can do UKG. UKG BTC. I would like to actually look up this coin's market total for just a second, because I like to know that when looking at my technical analysis. Looks like we're at 143 million. That's fine. Okay, I like these price movements based upon that bird's eye view. Let's look at the charts here. Wow, I can't even look at the charts. It's just came out. It looks like it's fresh out the womb. Wow, interesting. I don't know why it's only showing such a small portion of the chart. It doesn't look like there's much here. Let's do a 1 hour. Yeah, that's quite the chart. So based on this, I mean, I couldn't really do much with this, being the fact that it's just a 30-minute chart. But based on the coin itself, I mean, looking at this chart here, I like the fact that we're finding support at every single one of these levels. I think what I would watch for is watch to see whether or not this spike right here is not only happening in US valuations but also in Bitcoin valuations. And what I mean by that is, you can see here we spiked a lot back and forth here, but the Bitcoin valuation stayed pretty stagnant. And here we saw a spike where we saw a USD all-time high, but we didn't see a Bitcoin all-time high. So we're actually below where the previous Satoshi high was, and that doesn't necessarily show good signs of growth, in my opinion, if it's not following Satoshi values the way it's following the USD valuations within this chart. But there's not much of a technical chart that I can actually pull up, so I do apologize about that. Somebody said POE BTC, awesome work, buddy, love your work. Thank you, brother, I appreciate that. What is Poe doing? Okay, this is a good thing. We do have some support in the 30-minute, but let's pull up the 1 day. See something that can show us a little bit of a higher perspective. All right, so we're still seeing this run up continue to go up in value. Looking at the 1 hour chart, looks like we found some support right around 728 satoshis. Now finding support right around 1,183 satoshis. Let me see if we can really analyze and break this down. You know, I know Poe has been getting a lot of attention recently, and I think that's partly due to the huge run-up we're seeing in general with all of these altcoins. But in this chart, I would say, looking at it, I like the fact that the 50-day is right there, but when you pull up the 1 day, the 50-day is a little bit off. And what I mean by that is, if you look at the 50-day on the 1 day, on this chart, it's not even showing for some reason. Let's do the 4 hour. You can see we are a little bit away from that. We are on top of the EMA, which does seem like a good sign, as we were overlapping it at first, never going below it, which for me is always a good sign. Looking at the EMA, the exponential moving average, is a very important way of determining price action within the next couple of hours or days. So looking at this, it may still end up going up. And the reason I say that is it doesn't look like the RSI peaked out. We went over 70, but it was just hovering over 70. So yeah, I mean, as long as this can find support, I don't see anything like significantly good about this chart. Only the fact that if you're holding it, I think it could be a good hold, as long as it doesn't break below those support levels. And I would set the resistance right around 1,409 if you are setting up your resistance levels on that. So hopefully that helped you out, TJ Maxx. Let's go ahead and look at some other requests here. Somebody said, what are your thoughts on the Deep Brain chain? I haven't done much you know, analysis on that. I haven't looked much into it, Jordan, so I would have to look a little bit more into it to really give you a full-on answer of the Deep Brain chain. Matter of fact, we can actually pull up a little bit of a coin market cap analysis here. 119, $210 million market cap. That's always a good thing. I like this. I like that the graph is stable like that. So let's see if we can pull up the... No, there's no technical, unfortunately, but I like the fact that it's stabilized. So as long as this is a good project, it could be a good long-term hold. I would have to look more into it to see if it's a truly like a project I would invest in long-term. ETN, Electroneum. So I don't think Electroneum is still up on Binance or Bittrex, which I'm sure it's not. That's why it's not pulling up here. But if we looked at this technical, so I have Electroneum. I like Electroneum. This is one of my long-term holds. I think Electroneum will see huge gains over the next couple of weeks. I believe this coin will have some significant use cases, and you know, if you guys are asking me what's one small cap coin that I'm excited about under 1 billion, I would say Electroneum. So I'm glad that we're seeing a run up right now. This is awesome. I still have my Electroneum. I'm not selling it. It's a long-term hold for me. I think they have a lot of good things in the works. So this is great. The fact that we're seeing a run up. You know, I like Electroneum. It's a project that I can sell out to. If you guys don't know about Electroneum, they pretty much want to make it to where you can actually mine coins, and you can actually do it right now. You can mine on your cell phone if you want. You can mine on your Xbox. You can mine on your PlayStation. I don't think that's fully, you know, ready yet. I think they're still working on the, you know, the system to get the Xbox's, you know, processing power to utilize it. But it's cool the way they do it. They actually use a proof of stake method of mining. So they'll look at the terahash, or not the terahash, but the hash that your phone is providing in terms of power, and they'll equate that to the amount of coins that you'll receive as if you were actually mining. So, and what's really happening though is they're setting specific thresholds for the proof of stake that is rewarding you with those coins as if you were mining. So it's a really cool project. They also want to get into the gaming side of things and stuff like that. So I love Electroneum. I think this will definitely be a coin that will see a huge run up over 2018. There is a large market cap of 5 billion, max supply of 21 billion, but it's very well, it's much needed for their project, being that, you know, what they're trying to accomplish requires a lot of a circulating supply, and such as. So hopefully that helped out, guys. Diamond Cutter said ELF. ELF BTC. I would like to look at the market cap on this. I have not looked at ELF. That's an interesting name there. ELF. Okay. So makes 77. Looks like $500 million market cap. Looks like the BTC value took a drop. Looking at the 1 day, I'm not sure why these charts are like this. It's not. I guess these coins just don't have the most. Maybe it just got on Binance. Looks to me, obviously there's these resistance levels are in an upward trend. Volume is pretty consistent. Seems pretty good for this coin. RSI is low right now. Looks like we're hopping over the EMA. I think this is still in a volatile state. Looks like this coin is in an extremely volatile state. The one good thing about this coin, I think, is the fact that the total supply is at 260 million and the current valuation is at $1.82. This could still very well be overvalued though. It looks like it saw this huge run up and it hit price levels that it had not reached before this huge sell-off that we saw. So that's why. So I guess it's because they just added Binance coins, so they only have a limited history. So they just added the Binance coins. Shout out to one of my admin that just notified me. I knew they added the Binance coins, but I thought they would trace back history. Like a lot of charts do that. But yeah, what I would say this is a very volatile chart right now. You know, there's not necessarily a clear pattern that's forming. I wouldn't really look at this as a descending triangle whatsoever, not just yet, because there's so many price breaks. This is pretty much where the price breaks, where you see these huge swings within the pattern. So I would say let this chart mature a little bit, but it looks like it's following an upward trend. As long as it can keep its support levels, I think that'll be a good thing. But it's definitely finding resistance around 11,494 Satoshis. Found some resistance around 11,900, and then also found extreme resistance around 14,000. So I would say let this mature a little bit, give it some time. It doesn't look like there's anything worrisome just yet because the RSI looks good. It's over the EMA. It's right by the 50-day. So I would say give this a little bit of time to mature. You know, not every chart's ready to be analyzed and technicalized and such. So you gotta give it some time. So with that being said, guys, you know, we're all heading over to our Night Owl tonight, which is going to be all throughout the Discord. If you guys are not on Discord, this is your chance to get in touch with our community and talk amongst your fellow Discordians. I'm just kidding. Your snipers, right? So we got 57 people here in the swing trading chat. We got a day trading chat here. We've also got a chat specifically for Patreons and such. So hopefully you guys will enjoy the night. I am going to get off, guys. This is going to be an early stream. We have some work that we need to accomplish here within the admin and leadership team. So we're going to get that out of the way. I still have a lot of stuff to complete. But I hope you guys enjoyed this stream. I hope you guys enjoyed the night with Bob as well. Thank you guys all for tuning in. If you are not a Patreon, somebody just asked me, how do I become a Sapphire? To become a Sapphire, you have to get on our Patreon. The link is in the description. You guys can actually look that up. Just go to the Patreon. If you guys want the trade alerts, you don't have to be a Sapphire. You can be a Gold and receive those. The Sapphire members are the ones that get the recording. So anyways, hopefully you guys did enjoy this. Somebody said morning. Morning, yes. Good night, my man. Good night, Arthur. Good night. Yes. So did we get any other requests? I don't think we got any more super chat requests. Looks like we went over everything. Awesome. Looks good, guys. Somebody said I'm a Ruby, but it doesn't work. Can I get help? Why not? You have to connect your Patreon to your Discord. If you don't connect it, you're not going to get access. So make sure you connect it. If not, just message one of the admin or I, and we can help you out. Thanks for the awesome information. As always, you make me so much money. That is awesome. Good night. See you on Discord. See you on Discord, guys. All right. So we're going to wrap this up, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Are you streaming on Twitch, good sir? Not yet. We are going to eventually get that stuff rolling. But all of our Sapphires and above are getting our podcasts, so that's good. And we'll be posting some stuff. So yeah, our after party is going to be on Discord. It's going to be all throughout the Discord. There's not going to be any restrictions as to where you can go. You guys can actually just hop around any one of these voice channels, talk amongst yourselves. But thank you guys so much for watching. We'll be on live tomorrow, and tomorrow's going to be an exciting time because we're going to see whether or not Bitcoin is going to find any resistance at these mid-price levels heading towards the big even of 20,000. And we'll see if it's going to break past 20,000. And not only that, altcoins, what's going to happen to the altcoins? Are they going to drop in value, rise with Bitcoin as we hit a $1 trillion market heading towards 800 million? And with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. And I meant 800 billion, not trillion or million. I meant 800 gazillion. How about that? I'm just kidding. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. And like always, snipers out. See you on Discord.